5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, Joe MVR here again with another virtual rally podcast. I'm going to be talking to a guy called FokuzX2 today. He's not one of the fastest drivers in the world, but he is in charge of one of the fastest growing clubs. That's Global Rally Fans, or GRF, and yes, it is the home club that I'm involved in, so you will always see GRF after Joe MVR when you see me on the leaderboards. And I'm really excited to be interviewing FokuzX2 because the club has been really welcoming to me and to new members, inexperienced drivers, and some of the fastest drivers in the world alike. It's a fantastic place to come and visit and drive some daily events or weekly events, no practice events, time trials. We've got everything there. And the club has gone from about 5 or 6 members to over 780 members or so in just over a year. And it continues to provide something there for everyone and a nice, friendly place to come and make your base. So without further wasting your time, I'm going to be getting right into the recorded conversation that I had with FokuzX2. Hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Virtual Rally podcast. Today I have a great guest, but it is a little bit different from the last few times when we've had some of the best and fastest Dirt Rally 2 drivers in the business. Today it's going to be the first of my club and race organizer conversations. And I'm very proud to say that it is the guy who started my home club, Global Rally Fans. I want to welcome Dennis, or FokuzX2 as he's known. So, hi Dennis, how are you doing today?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing fine, thanks. Hello, everybody. And yeah, Joe, thanks for having me in your show.
Oh, it's my pleasure actually. It's been a while since we've been wanting to do this as
Mm,
usual, and since this is just something we do for fun, there are going to be delays between episodes sometimes because life gets in the way. So let's start.
yes.
Why don't we start with a little bit of freestyling? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dennis.
Yes, my name's Dennis. I'm 41 years old, or I'm going to be 41 this year. I live in Switzerland. I'm married. I have a little daughter, which is 2 years old. Yeah, I work in finance. So I think a lot of the guys you already had on the show were guys involved in computers and technical stuff, and I'm absolutely not.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and I like playing video games a lot. I like playing Dirt Rally, do a little bit of sports. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's most important.
Okay, yeah, that's really funny because I always wondered what you did for a living because you're a very busy
Mm,
guy, and I'm getting to know that you do play a lot of video games and not even that much Dirt Rally 2 from what I learned recently, and we'll come to that in a minute. So on Discord, your moniker is FokuzX2, right? And
yes.
now I know you like some Ford cars.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
so does that mean something to the the moniker for Focus X2?
Yes, yes, kind of. It goes back to the days when everything started with online gaming. I mean, for me, that was back in the day when I had my first Xbox 360. So you needed a gamer tag, and I really didn't know what to take, what name. And back then I had two Ford Focuses, so it was just Focus X2, Focus times two, and that actually never changed and stayed until today.
Oh, okay, right. I knew it probably had something to do with Ford Focuses,
Yeah.
but the X2 now makes sense. I was like trying to look up, Is there a model called the X2 or something like that?
No.
No, okay, right. Times two, focus times two. All right. So,
Uh,
so let's go to Global Rally Fans itself, or GRF, right? So when did you start GRF exactly?
that was in March 2021 when we
Oh,
started with the first club and the Discord.
wow. So that was just over a year ago, and I guess
Yeah.
so. I must have been one of the first guys there then. Because
Mm.
when I joined, I knew nothing about Discord, and I see, I get it. So how would wait? So my question really is, why did you start GRF? Because there's lots of clubs already, and I was a member of a few of them, but not on Discord. But so why did you start GRF?
Oh, that's I could talk a lot about this. I mean, basically, before I played Dirt Rally 2.0, I was more into track racing, like Forza Motorsport or Assetto Corsa Competizione. And then when I started playing Dirt Rally 2.0, I think I got the game in a during a winter sale 2020 2021.
Okay.
And I'm active in a forum, which is a German forum, and there's quite a lot of guys that are a little bit older than your average online gamer. I'm talking about guys older than 30 or 40 years.
Okay.
And yeah, they were playing Dirt Rally 2.0 as well. We did some time trials. And then I asked them if they would be in for a little club, 5 to 10 people maybe, and nobody cared. And after that, I thought, yeah, let's do my. I like to organize things. I like to get people together, and I think I made a Reddit post, which was also new to me because I'm not really active on Reddit, or basically I didn't even know Reddit existed by then. And I think it was Solidus who was one of the first responders to my post about
Okay.
having a club.
Yeah.
And he asked if there's already a Discord, and I mean I knew what Discord was, but I wasn't really active in Discord. And yeah, that's how it started. I think it took Solidus one day. Discord was ready, and yeah, people were joining, and off we went.
Wow. Okay. So, first of all, thank you, Solidus, for building something
Yeah, thank
super
you.
solid and helping you.
Yeah.
Right. So how did things go at the beginning?
It went really really well from the beginning. It's hard to say why, but I think a lot of people came into the club because of the Reddit post, or because maybe they heard from other people that it's a cool club, a cool place to be. If I remember correct, I didn't do a lot of advertising. We didn't have a Facebook page or Instagram or anything. It was just that Reddit post and asking people, if they would like to join. And since then, yeah, it just got better and better and bigger. Without that, there hasn't been a lot of. I didn't have to put a lot of work into that. It just grew by itself.
Yeah, okay. So that's the kind of impression I'm getting, that we've got in our community a lot of people who just help out and they like to do that. And so, you have a great leadership style as well. So, I
Oh,
really
thank you.
appreciate that. So, well, let's fast forward because I haven't really emphasized this at the beginning, and maybe I'll do a little spiel before
Mm.
before the actual thing to just emphasize, how immensely successful the club has been, at least in my eyes. The group expanded very quickly. So starting from those humble beginnings just over a year ago, how many people are there now in the club?
In the main club, in a regular championship club, I think I checked today. It was I think 768 people.
Yeah.
I
Okay, wow. And I
think
think,
it's
we get what about 80 people at least participating usually in the events as well. So
yeah, yeah.
that's pretty cool. So let's talk about the members, right, themselves. I know at first it was geared towards busy people, You said people, in their 30s, 40s, and even older.
Mm, mm.
Parents, for example, who didn't have too much time to practice. What about now? Is there a typical profile to a GRF member?
I wouldn't say there's a typical profile of a GRF member because it's obvious that we have younger people in there that are not that experienced, but we also have younger people which are really really fast, and
Yes.
we also have guys that are a little bit older. I mean, not your average gamer, I would say, but who are also really really fast, and also which is really important, really helpful towards the new guys. And that's something that is really really important to me, because I wanted to mention that in the question before. One of the reasons why I mainly stopped track racing or circuit racing is because I thought that the communities based around, let's say, for example, Assetto Corsa Competizione, which I played a lot, that the communities were just really bad towards new people, or they weren't really they didn't really help new guys to get their feet into the game. And with track racing, it's also really difficult if you want to participate on a regular basis. If you're a parent or you have a job which keeps you really busy, it's difficult to find time to race every week on a certain day. And that was also one of the reasons why I stopped doing circuit racing, because with games like Dirt Rally 2.0, it's just easier. You can set your time when you actually have time to drive, and I think that's also an important aspect to a lot of our drivers, that they can just drive whenever they have time for it.
Right, because that's the nature of the game. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
important point actually,
Yes,
because
it is.
when somebody told me, I told someone recently that I drive kind of, in competitions online, and they were
Mm,
like pretty impressed and said, "Oh wow, you must have a really fast internet connection then." And I said, actually, I do, but you don't need one for rally
mm,
because
mm,
you're not competing in real time
mm,
against other people's inputs in real time.
mm,
So that is,
mm,
yeah, that's really an important aspect that we don't usually think about. That um, the rally itself lends itself well as a sport
mm.
to people who are busy and can't schedule
It's
the
it's
same as someone else.
yeah, it's a lot more accessible to busy people, I think, than circuit racing.
Right, right. And yeah,
Mm,
in GRF, as you said, there's no typical member anymore. I think I remember at the beginning, it was kind of busy dads and stuff like that.
mm,
But now we've got super fast people, we've got young people, older people. In fact, a lot of us, several of us have been going to the Dirty Discord championship which is another club altogether that I really like, and
mm,
that's organized by PJ Tierney from
mm.
Codemasters. And somebody asked if are we all so fast? Because I guess some of our faster guys went over there, and I had to
Oh,
do a
cool.
little thing yesterday saying no, not at all. Like we have the whole spectrum, and I think the only common thread really is that we don't tolerate people being arrogant or negative too much. That everyone supports each other, and that's the way.
Mm,
That's what I think is the secret formula.
yeah,
Which actually
definitely.
kind of answers my next question: is what do you think you can attribute the rapid success of GRF to?
Yeah, I think you answered the question before. It's just, it's just a really, really friendly group of guys that help each other out, and that really makes a difference. And then what I also think, it's really cool that the Discord is is active every day. There's not one day that there isn't anything to be talked about, or that it would be just dead Discord, like I've seen many other Discords.
Right, right. Yeah, when we started, my friend Fish, who's also from Montreal, and I, and if you don't know, who I'm talking about. It's spelled Ghoti if you ever see him on the leaderboards and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah, of
it's
course.
pronounced
He's called
Fish.
Fish.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pronounced Fish just because he's using the weirdest pronunciations in the English language, because GH can often be pronounced F, like an F. But anyway, so we were about to start our own club called FFR, based in Montreal, just around the time GRF started. And I became an early member of GRF, as I said, and I told Fish about the club and the Discord. And pretty soon we became convinced we'd found the ideal community, even though the GRF was just starting. And so we dropped our plans to host our own club. So okay, so the community makes the club, but why do you think we have such a community? I mean, I get, could you speculate on that and the great team spirit as well?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's just it's really a good question. I think
You can
because
say it was luck if you want to.
no, look, I mean, maybe because when we didn't have a lot of negative people in there for a year now, and
Yeah,
when somebody came in there and was acting important or stuff like that, I think these people have just been ignored by the community, and that's why I think some of them left, or they're still in Discord, but they're not that active and they're not really racing anymore. So I mean, at the end of the day, the people who think that the club is great and Discord is great are the people who are active and who participate in the discussions and in the races. That's the people that stay in the club. If you know, hey, this really fits me and this really suits me, I'll stay here. And the ones that don't, they just don't. They leave or they're not active anymore. So I think at the end you got the how do I say it, the best people in the club.
yeah, I think so. I would
Well,
agree. When we GRF, we won the team competition in the very first championship that we entered. Like, we were just a bunch of guys and just thought, okay, let's do that. And there were much bigger, well-established teams participating
mm,
as well. And we won, even though we got very few podium spots by our team members. And it was because we performed consistently,
mm,
and so, we were reasonably close to the top enough consistently that we won the championship. But our performance and consistency was noted by other teams, and our team spirit was quite apparent. And some of those other guys have since become regulars in our club, because of that, and they enjoy our community. So that's great. So talking of the team event, that team event, you initially put yourself on the team, but then you
yeah.
gave up your spot to a faster driver, and that impressed me because that was an act of, humble and true leadership. Was that a difficult decision to make?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not really one of the fast guys. So if we go out as team GRF
Yeah.
and there's people who would like to participate, and if they're faster than I am, I have absolutely no problem of stepping back. So
Again, taking being a kind
well,
of interested managerial role in
yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking of you saying you're not the fastest, I don't mean to be insulting, but I often see that you have, well, you used to have difficulty finding time to do an event properly. I think you
Uh,
still have difficulty, finding time to where you're
mm,
not monitoring your kids or something like that.
yeah,
But
yeah, exactly.
but you used to DNF a lot, or
Mm,
being a long way down from the leading times. But I must say your recent performance has been very
that was
impressive.
better, huh?
Yeah. So, but
Yeah, I got better.
right, but what I admire is that you still give it a go consistently, and you don't just like rage quit from the game, because for some people, if they're not at the top, it's not worth
Uh,
doing, and they get really annoyed. So, and I used to do that kind of thing, um, but now, I'm doing, I do it for fun, but I used to just do it for fun, but now, when I started performing a bit better with during the pandemic and with getting VR, I do find it harder to just participate for fun. Rather I want to be at the top or near the top every time, I deal with it when I'm not. I don't rage quit. But I am, sometimes working hard to bring the joy back, no matter how I perform. Do you still get enjoyment from playing? The game is 3 years old now, so
Uh, Absolutely. I mean, I love the game to bits. I mean, I'm a rallying guy. I
yeah,
always loved rallying and real life rallying, cars, rally games, and um, since I started playing it, I really enjoy it. Even if I'm not the fastest, or I must admit, I really don't care. But it has always been like that. Gaming wise for me, I was always, since I started gaming back in, I don't know, 1987, 88, it was always just for fun for me. Of course, I like to win, or I like to be a little, like to be competitive, but it's not that important for me. It's really all about the fun. And the thing with the DNFs and stuff, it was just because, was when I worked the whole day.
yeah,
Usually, by the time I get home, my wife has to work, so I have to take care of the little one, bring her to bed, and often it's like 10 o'clock in the evening when I can sit down or play a game or play Dirt Rally in my play seat. And yeah, so one eye is always on the baby phone. You're tired, and yeah, just to crash
yeah,
a lot. And now I'm trying to stop playing Dirt Rally uh, when I'm on baby phone duty. So I only play it when I really know, okay, there's nothing that can distract me. My wife is at home, the little one
right.
is in bed, and I'm not too tired. I can play
Uh,
Dirt Rally 2.0. And I think that will make me a little bit better than I used to be in the last couple of weeks or months. But I think the most important the most important thing is that you just have fun playing it. No matter what game you play, just play it for fun. I mean, I'll be 41 years old. I'm way too old to compete on some level in shooter games or other
yes,
games,
yes,
but it's just important to have fun
yeah.
gaming.
Right, so that explains it. So you've actually taken quality time now to play
Yes.
your game.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so you're able to focus X3 now.
yeah.
Okay, good. So let's talk about the club itself and the events that we organize. Now, when we first decided on doing the interview, we had actually the club's actually gone a long way in the last 2 months or so. It's
Mm,
progressed quite a bit as well. So tell us about
mm.
the type of events that GRF organizes.
At the moment, we have three clubs, so everybody's welcome to join. The longest running one is the regular championship one, which usually goes for 3 or 4 rallies during a month, and has no car restrictions, and it's just like our basic club that we run. The second club we run is the GRF Special Event Club, which is also really popular, I think. We
Hmm.
have, I checked today, 99 people in the club with, I think, 20 to 25 people racing the events in which we organize, as the name says, special events. So you have to be in our Discord and follow the channel so that you know what we're up to in the next event. We're often doing one make or one car championships, or currently we're running the team championship. So yeah, we're everybody can give their input if they have a good idea what we could do in special events. And yeah, that's the
Okay,
special
so
events club.
right, so
And the
and what
third
else do we have?
club, yeah, yeah,
So go ahead. We'll talk about the special events
yeah,
more in
of
a
course.
minute. Yeah.
And the third club, which is a brand new club and which has been invented by Void Robot, I hope I pronounced that correct,
You
is
did?
our daily event club where you run one stage a day. And during, I think it's 5 or 7 days
Seven
during a
days.
week.
7 days.
He
Yeah.
does a little podium at the end, and then it starts from new with one stage a day. It's similar to what you have in the game with the what is it called, daily challenge, I think.
Right. 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 But the important difference here is that we do count it as a championship. So every 7 days, it's a
Yeah,
new championship, which is
uh,
part of the reason why I started doing it every day.
I
Anyway,
knew from the beginning that this club is made for you. You will race every day.
yeah. So okay, we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Um, so we've got the regular championship, the special events, we've got the daily championship. We
Uh,
also, I think, on the Discord we have the just a trial
oh, I
challenge.
forgot that one. Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot that.
And that's just basically we decide on an event and a car
Mm,
class, and everyone tries
mm,
to
mm,
get to the leaderboard. And on the Discord, we also just have a beat my time thing where you can show off your best performances,
uh,
and if you don't mind people trying to beat them.
uh. It's also really, really popular, that one. I didn't participate really in this one because I'm nowhere near the top times, but I think that's also a thing for the fastest of the fast guys. I mean, if I look at the leaderboard, it's always the 5 or 6 fastest guys in the whole GRF universe or Discord that race in the time trials,
Yeah,
which is really cool, I
it
think.
is nice for us to
Yeah.
do that. I think it's good to, rather than just post a random video on another channel, we can just put it there and say,
Uh,
hey,
uh,
yeah, this one is
uh,
about showing off.
uh.
So
And I forgot to mention something. We also, I mean, we try, or I try to also run a WRC10 club, which
ah,
is because I organize it. It's on Xbox. The game is not cross-platform. Yeah, but we also, so if somebody out there likes to play WRC10 and is looking for like-minded people, there's also a couple of us WRC10 players in our Discord.
okay, I'll allow you to say that, Dennis. I dislike WRC because they don't have VR, and if they had
Yeah, I
VR,
know.
I'd be a fan. So I don't like to talk about them. But no, but seriously, that's great to know as well because
Yeah. I
it's
mean, at the end of the day, I know that people who play on VR won't go back to non-VR playing,
yeah.
and I mean, there's days I hate this game, and there's other days I really like it. I mean, it's a good game, but it's just not the Rally 2.0.
Right. Well, you know what? I actually just got a widescreen monitor recently, so I might actually give it a chance, but we shall
Yeah, do
see.
it. You'll
Yeah.
like it.
Okay. So the special events, I wanted to just spend a special time talking about that. The special
Mm,
events are usually more difficult events, right? So we
mm.
might have worse conditions or a car class that most people don't use often,
Yes. Mm,
or often a long time between services, so there's an endurance aspect as well. So it's not for the faint of heart, but we do
mm,
encourage anyone to join. But you need to join the Discord and read the pinned posts to
mm,
fully understand what we're doing so that you don't get disqualified.
mm.
Anything you want to add to that?
Uh, Actually, no, no. I think we've said everything. Everything.
Cool. Okay.
People. No.
So, we've talked about how the club itself is a bit of a team effort. So, who are the main guys you have that help you with the club? And do you think that bringing on helpers on the admin team early, I guess from day one with Solidus, has
Mm.
contributed to the smooth running of the club?
Yes, yes, yes. It was from the beginning. It was Solidus who. I mean, he was the guy who started Discord, but it also it was clear from the beginning who's really really into the club and who's also interested in organizing events or helping out with Discord. So I think we chose from right from the beginning we chose the correct people, which is the current admins. I mean, it's Solidus, it's uh, Cygnus. I hope I pronounced that
It's
correct. It's
Cygnus.
you,
Yeah.
it's Gifu, the guy from Portugal, and also if you remember back in the day was Mirza Pirza,
Oh,
who
right.
did a lot of the Discord stuff, and even today he's not really racing anymore. But if I have a question or if I had a question, I could always go back to him and tell him, hey, could you please change this and that in Discord? And he was always really helpful, even though he's not even racing anymore.
Oh, that's
So yeah, it was
fantastic.
basically it was these people, and nowadays, of course, it's everybody who's active
That's
in the
great.
Discord.
Yeah, I do find that um, the organization and the guys who help out really make a big difference. We have
Yeah,
Shinyo now as well, who's working with
yeah,
another Belgian Busata from the
yeah. I mean,
Dirty Discord.
I mean, that's absolutely, that's absolutely fantastic. When I read about that, I was like, oh, wow, it's really we've come a long way, since we started the whole thing, and now there's people who are working with other people to make it even better, and yeah, it's awesome. It's really
Yeah,
awesome.
that's one thing that, I've always liked is that we are willing to work with other clubs as well and to try and improve both clubs or all partner clubs at the same time.
Mm,
And that's something I'd like to see more in the future, maybe joint events with clubs that have established themselves well as well with similar philosophies to us.
mm,
That would be
mm.
pretty good to see.
The funny thing is, I think that we're one of the bigger clubs
Yes, we
that
are.
that are still active. So it's difficult to find, bigger partners. So I recently joined a Discord server which is called Rally Fans.
Yes,
So it's not, you
global.
know that one?
No, I
Not
don't.
global, but Rally
Yes,
Fans.
yeah,
And I was thinking, yeah, maybe we could do something with them. I mean, they don't know anything about that, but maybe I'll approach them in the future.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so some of my previous guests have talked about the Expert Historic Club with Mexico, and
yeah,
he's become part of GRF now
yeah,
as well. But he still runs a couple of events there, and I'd really like to see us do something with him in the future as well, where it's mostly rear-wheel drive older cars.
oh boy.
But but it's a lot of fun apparently.
Okay.
And he's been participating well in our club too. So
Mm.
that's a cool thing. Um, so how do we like maintain this kind of positive attitude? Like every club will have members that sometimes, frankly, the whole group could do without.
Yeah.
How do we deal with unsavory characters that join GRF? I think you mentioned before that we don't do anything aggressive. Mostly we just ignore them. But what do you think?
I think yeah, it's the good thing about our club is I always have the impression that I don't have to do the whole monitoring people by
Yes.
myself. I open Discord and I see there's like 50 new messages, and I know I don't have to go through them, because I know if there would be something wrong with somebody else would already have contacted that person.
Yeah. That's a great
Uh,
feeling.
yeah.
I run a business as well, making high-end gear for people who expect quality.
Mm,
And my main guy who helps me build these things, I have absolute trust in him now, and that's a great feeling where you know
mm,
that you know that there is somebody else who you can depend on, and you don't have to micromanage things.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I know when I go to bed, I know exactly that while I'm asleep, there's other people who take care of stuff.
yeah, that's great.
So, well, it absolutely is.
So the obvious question, of course, when it comes to this kind of organization is where do you think the future of the club lies? Is it with more members, more new types of events, partnerships with other um, reliable organizers, or what?
Uh, or you mean other clubs that cooperate with us and actually send us a trophy? We're still waiting for the last one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah, I think, of course, I'm always looking for new members. Right now, when we start a new regular championship, um, it every time I go and do some advertisements, for our club on Facebook, and I just hope to get a lot of people into the club, also a lot of people into Discord, and get them really involved. Talk to them, say when they join, say hello, so that they know it's not just another another Discord,
Hmm.
and with the team championship, which we recently started in special events. I hope that I mean, that was like it's like a test bed
Yep.
for future events to come. Also, events that could be done with, as you mentioned, other clubs, other people, and I would really like to do something really big, that people would join and have fun. I mean, and I'm speaking of a really big event with 12 stages, maybe all locations.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, you
that would
had
be
12.
like a GRF World Championship. That's
Right,
something
right.
I would like to do in the future.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah,
Uh,
so you mean like a championship with 12 events, or more or some,
I
well,
mean, 12
yeah.
stages and 12 events, something
Oh,
like that.
right, right, right. So the whole of the
The
game,
whole the
basically.
whole the whole of the game. I think Codemasters had that. Was it this year or last year? They did something like that.
Right. Yeah,
That
yeah,
w-
yeah,
I
that would
would
be
like
great.
to do something like that. Yeah. And also maybe, I mean, at the moment we have three clubs. At the beginning, I thought the maximum we should have is two, and now it's three. And the third daily club seems to be really popular. So maybe in the future we'll also run a fourth club. We had this discussion in Discord before. Maybe some kind of amateur club, for really only for new guys.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Those things always
there's lots
have
of
Yeah, those things always have challenges, and I have lots of
mm,
ideas, for those.
yeah,
But the great thing is that
uh,
we can always just try them out, and
yeah,
as long as we don't advertise it as the best thing ever, and people
no,
know that
no.
we're just trying it out,
Uh,
we can do things like that.
Yeah.
So,
What I also think is important, the whole future also depends a little bit on if there's going to be a new Dirt Rally game or EA
yes,
Sports Rally game.
right.
I mean, what the cool thing is, Dirt Rally 2.0 is what 3 years old now, but it has still a lot of life in there. There's still a lot of people for that. It's really a niche game.
Yeah,
Do you say niche in English? Not
that's
sure.
right.
I'm not
Yep,
sure.
yeah, niche. Yeah,
Uh, it's a niche game, but there's still a lot of people who actually play it. So there's plenty of life in it. But yeah, in the future, and I'm talking about I think the next 1 or 2 years, I really hope there will be something like Dirt Rally 3.0 or just some kind of new rally game, which absolutely has to be cross-platform, which
right.
absolutely has to support VR.
Yeah,
That I
absolutely.
think would make us even bigger.
Yeah, I think some people still hold out for a successor to this game before the WRC contract,
Uh,
game comes out from EA Sports.
uh,
So we'll see. So so I have a couple of things. Right, first of all, the team championship that you talked about in our special club. Just for the listeners, what we did was we had a qualifying event where everyone competed in 3 rallies, and then we ranked everyone from top to bottom, and we paired up the top guy with the bottom guy, the second person with the second last person, and so on, until we had several teams of 2 players each and 2 drivers each. And so we now we're in the midst of the first event of the actual team championship, and the total time of over all events of both drivers is what gets entered into the final ranking system. So this is quite an exciting event where it's also an opportunity for what we call the pro drivers to help the or amateur drivers
mhm,
improve, and just to get to know each other as well.
mhm.
So how do you think that's going so far?
I think it's going really well so far. What I found out what a bit of a problem is, I wanted people, the pro driver and the M driver to interact.
Yep,
But just like yesterday or before yesterday, when I did my run in the Subaru,
yep,
I mean, I did the whole rally in one go,
yes,
and during the rally, I had some kind of corner exit understeer issues,
yes,
and yeah, actually, when I finished the rally, I asked Ed Rosa
yep,
what could be the issue, and yeah, I mean, he gave me advice, or I hope he'll advise me. soon. I think he didn't get back to me yet. But basically, I mean, the Subaru event is over for me. So
Right, right, right.
yeah, it's not going to help me really a lot. So, but and I didn't think about that when starting the event.
Yeah, that's the thing. My I reached out to my partner, probably propylene, quite early on. We had some discussions, and then I did my event to evaluate my tuning, and then shared it with him, which he used, and it helped a little bit as well. So,
Uh,
at least for us, we're already cooperating. It would be nice if we could, you know, get on Steam together and
mm,
do the event together in real time, but that's
uh,
obviously not always possible.
or maybe we should have allowed practicing for this one event. But then it would be against the spirit of the Special Events Club. So,
Right. I mean, I don't want to get into all the details, but I think that we should have had practicing for the qualifiers so that everyone is doing their best for
yeah,
qualifying. But anyway, but
yeah.
we can add that
It's
next
something we
time.
learned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That I'm enjoying the team event aspect of it. I think you're going to do super well in this because you've already done to be honest,
I
better than
finished.
yes, and you did better than I expected. You're way up there,
Okay.
and right on the border of the pro and am. So with the fastest driver, one of the fastest drivers in our club as your partner, I think you're going to do really well.
I
So
hope so.
yeah, so that's great. So you also said talked about expansion. I just want to ask, you know what happens to empires, right, when they get too big? Do you think there's anything
Oh,
as being too big for our club?
yeah. I mean, yeah. I hear what you're saying. It's when it's difficult to find that thin line of being big and popular and really good and completely failing.
Right.
I'm also in another Discord server which caters all kinds of motorsport games and real life motorsport and everything.
Yeah.
And for example, there it's like I don't know 5,000 people in there,
Wow.
and it's you get in there and you have absolutely no overview what's happening.
Yeah.
They're really popular on Twitch and they're known in Dirt Rally 2.0, but that's something which wouldn't be something that would be good for us, I think.
Right,
I
right.
mean,
And
it's
I think, we still have room to grow while
no,
maintaining the personal touch,
mm,
where we have real life people welcoming you and showing you what to do. And of
mm,
course, even though we have over 700 members, you said, I think, almost 800.
seven,
Yeah,
seven, 700, 760, 768, I think.
right. So yeah, with all of those members, not all of them are active at the same time.
Yeah.
And as you said, some people are even on the Discord when they're not driving it much anymore. Some people are still helping out, even though they don't drive as much as they used to as well. So
Mm.
yeah, I think there's still room to grow, and as long as we, keep focus on things, um, there's still a lot of time before it's too big. Would you
Uh,
agree?
well, yeah, of course. For me, it's just important that it doesn't turn into a total bot server.
Yes.
You enter Discord, you get a welcome by a bot, then you get directed to the next bot, and you're in there because you want to say, hey, I also have a club running with only 5 people. Maybe somebody is willing to join, and then you get rejected by the next bot because I don't know, you're not level 55 in this server. That's something I really do not want to see at
Yeah.
DRF.
I mean, in one of the servers, I was a bit lost there for a little while, but now I'm more established, I think. But I think the sort of bots that we're looking at are just going to be helpful in making us aware of what the status
Mm,
is of the
mm,
championship and stuff like that. That people can even invoke the bot rather than it being automated.
yeah,
So
okay.
I think we're on a good compromise there between bots and everything. So as we kind of come to the last phase of the conversation, um, something that I ask all my guests about, and you've mentioned already that you want to see something that's cross-platform, supports VR as well. What would you like to see in the next big rally game release from Codemasters or EA Sports or anyone really?
Mm. It's that's a good question. I mean, what there's lots of stuff which I think which is really good in Dirt Rally 2.0. The whole club us aspect, the cross-platform, cross-play, um, which everything is great, and I really hope they will just make that even better in a new rally game. I mean, I would love to see. For example, in clubs, I would love to see that you can do multi-class racing, like R5 and R2s racing together. That would be
Right.
something that I would like to see. Of course, I hope all the existing rallies and stages will be kept and new ones will be added, the ones from the WRC calendar.
Hmm.
And yeah, I hope they will improve the physics. I mean, the physics are really, really good in Dirt Rally 2.0, but they're not perfect. I'm
Right.
speaking about tarmac here, or in my eyes, the rear-wheel drive cars.
Aha. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, make Dirt Rally 2.0 a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and add some flavor of WRC 10. And I think you would have the perfect rally game.
Yeah, I like the driving aspect of it, but I think some of the behind the scenes things, the data that's generated could be more accessible to everyone.
Mm.
As you said, with mixed classes and other kinds of custom championships, people are
Yes,
resorting, yeah,
exactly.
we're resorting to spreadsheets to devise the
Mm.
type of championship that we want rather than have the game
Mm.
automatically
Mm.
do that. I'd like to see when there's a club with an event to be able to just say, okay, create a custom event to duplicate the competition so that you can practice it in
Yeah,
one go
yeah.
rather than having to take
Yes,
screenshots and enter everything manually
yes.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's stuff that track or circuit racing games
Yep.
had for ages now,
Ah,
which Dirt Rally 2.0 doesn't have. And I think, for example, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, you can set up your whole race weekend. You can set up qualifying one, qualifying two, qualifying three, race one, race two.
right.
You could do it multi-class, and that's something I would like to see in a rally game.
Yeah, that would be interesting as well.
Uh,
That's yeah, and of course everyone says oh physics and tarmac physics especially as well. Um,
yeah,
Yeah, although what I love about Rally in some ways, at least how it's presented in the games, is the simplicity of it. You just get in the car and you drive as fast as you can from one bit to
yeah,
the
it's
other.
yeah. It's you
Yeah,
against the clock.
yeah, exactly. All
No
right,
discussions, no talks before or after the race. It's just racing as it should be.
excellent. So, is there anything you wanted to talk about or ask me? Anything
uh,
that was on your mind since we, talked about the kind of questions we were going to ask? A lot's happened in the club, so
uh, I, I don't know. How long have you been playing Dirt Rally 2.0?
so actually, for me, I started off with Dirt 3, and I was part of the kind of online community there on the forums. So when Dirt Rally was announced, uh, which was a surprise release, I was
Uh,
there on day one. I
oh,
bought it,
cool.
and I used to sit with my projector on a 120-inch screen and play Dirt Rally 2 every day or for a little while, and then Dirt Rally every day for a little while, and then it became less and less over the years. But then, so when Dirt Rally 2 came out, I bought it on the first day. I bought the deluxe version, or the one that had all the content from day one. So I've been playing it for a little while, but I was only getting maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks to start with. But then when I got VR and finally bothered to set it up, it was a game changer. I didn't need to turn on the projector, just
Uh,
go down, stick on your headset, enter this world, and so I started playing a bit more. And when we started GRF, when you started GRF, I was playing once or twice a week.
uh,
maybe 3 times, and now I'm playing almost daily. Um, I found that I can, play after about 10 o'clock at night when my wife and kid are asleep, and I play for 2 hours, maybe more sometimes, and I stream every day. So I've been playing thousands of hours now. Um, Yesterday, a guy actually from our club wrote to me in the Discord and said, "Hey, nice stream. You're a great driver." And I knew that
cool.
he had some troubles with understeer with a certain type of car, and um, it just occurred to me that I said, "Hey, you can always ask me to." If I don't have other things to drive, I could always drive the stages you want in the car you
Uh,
want, give
yeah,
you tuning tips and talk about it. So that's something
yeah.
maybe, my Twitch stream will start doing, which is taking requests and tutorials. I mean, not that I'm the fastest person there
No,
ever
but your
was, but
your 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 tunes are really great. I mean, I think you could do with some kind of tuning YouTube channel or something like that, and it would
yeah,
do great.
maybe, maybe,
The
yeah.
the the only downside, I mean, I've once in a while I also watch your streams. The only downside is when people in VR are streaming, it's quite difficult to follow. That's
Yeah, I
uh,
understand. Yeah, no, I understand. And I think what would help would be to have a camera maybe on me as well at the same time. But yeah, it is, and that's actually Codemaster's responsibility there because um, with Dirt Rally, the VR aspect of when you're not racing was actually better than what they did with Dirt Rally 2, where they just added um, the VR on for the driving part, and for the
uh-huh.
non-driving parts, your head movements
Yeah.
all over the place, and the
Uh,
screen is distorted and so on. Yeah,
do you think a possible Dirt Rally 3.0 will have VR support?
yeah, I think so.
You
I know
think
that
so?
John Armstrong, who is, code who works for EA Sports now, and was one of the developers. He drives in VR and he loves VR, and
Uh,
I've spoken to him and he said you got to make sure that the new game will have VR. And
oh, you
ages
spoke to him. Oh, cool.
well, yeah, we do, on his streams. At least a year or two ago, he didn't have that many people on the stream, so we could chat
Okay.
sometimes, and uh, he actually gave me a shout out the day I got home from the hospital after
Oh,
COVID
cool.
and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh,
no, he's a great guy, and I said, you got to
so
make
get him
sure.
in the club. Get him in the club, Joe.
Yeah. No, he's driving in real life now, full
Oh,
time, right?
yeah, I know,
So
I know. I follow him. Did you see his crash a couple of weeks ago in the Canaries?
right, yes, I did. I know.
The how do you say it in English when the AMCO, the Leitplanke in
Yes,
German?
yeah,
That was crazy. I mean, he could have gone down that cliff for
that's
I
right.
don't know
That's right.
200 meters.
Yeah. So anyway,
Uh,
I mean, I don't want to, what I'm just saying is that I know he's a big fan of VR, and so that gives me confidence that it will be in the game.
uh,
I have no inside information. I have received no leaks or anything like that from
okay.
anyone. But I'm just saying that
Uh,
I know that he's a fan of it, and when I said, a couple of years ago that any new game should have VR, he said, yeah, it
mm,
should, but
mm,
that's all. Obviously, the decisions lie with other people,
mm,
but I'm
mm.
confident that it will.
Cool. Fun thing is you said you've been there for Dirt Rally 2.0 since day one, and I couldn't care less about Dirt Rally 2.0 when it came out. It
Yeah.
was I mean, as I said before, I'm a huge rally game fan. I played Colin McRae on the PlayStation and later Dirt 1, 2, 3, and then the WRC games, the
Yep.
first ones, which I thought were really, really bad, and then I stopped completely until Dirt Rally 1 came out.
Hmm.
I got the physical version with the Colin McRae documentary Blu-ray, played that for quite a while, but I thought, man, it's such a hard game. It's so hard,
All right. Yeah,
to
yeah.
do well in that game. Stopped playing after a while, and then when Dirt Rally 2.0 came out, I was just like, oh, I couldn't care less, because Dirt Rally 1, that was just way too hard for me. It was just too much for me. So I had to
Ah,
wait until that sale in winter.
yeah.
What did I say? 2021, until I first got into it.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that explains it. Because I know you said you play a lot of video games and
Yeah.
you can't concentrate too long on Dirt Rally 2. Whereas I am the opposite and I only play this game. I have lots of other driving games, but um, if I don't mean to brag, but if I wasn't as good as I am at Dirt Rally 2, I think I would be playing other games more. But because I'm at the level where I'm not
Yeah.
right at the top,
Yeah.
not an alien as people call it, but kind of one of the faster, much faster than average guys. I'm still aspiring to
Yeah,
get
you are.
better,
Yeah.
and then people like Toolmaker and Ed Rosa, they really push me to
Yeah.
try and reach the
Yeah.
the higher
It's
level.
crazy the times they drive,
Yeah,
and also the times you drive. Oh, I can play Dirt Rally. I can play it for an event or a rally, or an hour, 1.5, and then I mean, I can still drive, but I start thinking about other stuff. I start thinking about work, about that I'm hungry, or that I'm thirsty, that I need a cigarette, and then it just all goes downward. So it's just really, mentally, it's a really hard game, just like real life rallying. You have to keep up the concentration if you want to be good, or if you want to finish the rally.
yeah, yeah,
And especially
absolutely.
after a hard day of work, when I'm really tired, and uh, I had to take care of the little one, I often feel like, hey, I just want to sit on the sofa. I want to play some shooter game, whatever, just something easy and relaxing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's almost a guilty thing. I sneak my time away from my wife. When they go out, I'll play a little bit. And somebody, said once, um, "Do you like unexpected events being turned on?" And I said, "Yeah." Um, I turned it on once, and my wife came home early from shopping.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
you know but she does, obviously she knows that I've been playing, because sometimes she'll turn on our living room computer on the big screen, and there's my position in second place in the championship or something, and
So does your wife support you with your hobby? I mean, is she okay that you're
yeah,
playing video
absolutely.
games? Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. It's
that's
just the way
cool.
I was brought up. Anything that was pleasant had to be, was guilty. So,
Oh no, it's
it's
not.
just no, exactly right. So, but yeah, and my kid, she loves it. She'll sometimes
Mm.
watch me play. She'll even watch Fish's streams sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and then when I pick her up from school, she'll tell me how her exams went, and I'll tell her, "Hey, I got a new world record yesterday."
Ah,
Yeah,
cool. That's really cool.
yeah. So, like,
So yeah,
I so think, Dennis, it was is that if we don't have much more to talk about, I think we should wrap this up and let me get this out to the people, and let them know what great work we're doing at GRF, and get more people to join us.
yes,
Great, Dennis. Thank you so much for doing this. As I said, I know it's a long time we've been trying to get this working.
yes.
I
Finally,
Yeah. Now the worst thing that could happen is when I listen to the recording, none of it worked. But I think we ironed out all the tech issues beforehand.
okay.
So
We can do it again if it didn't work. I mean,
yeah, I have to invest in some better equipment, I think,
uh,
sometime soon. But we do this for fun, as you said before. So
uh,
thank you very much for coming.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, and we'll get this out in hopefully in the next few days. Take care,
Cool.
Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview, and see you soon.
Bye.